This video is sponsored by my patrons. Become my patron today and you can access Crochet Designing Universe, receive the pattern of the month, and if you are into start a knitting crochet business and you need help and support from me, you can choose the business level. Both level you can access Crochet Designing Universe, where I go live every week teaching you crochet designing tips and everything in between. As you can see, our members have made an amazing job on this design and they are crochet alongside me in real time. In this project, I use bulky weight yarn, and although this is my second one, if you get the written pattern, you see that I use DK weight yarn in red. And actually, I only use the yellow color. I didn't use the pink one. I use hook, 7mm hook, and you need yarn needle for the end to weave your ends, pair of scissors, and it's so important you need to have tape measurement and some stitch marker as well. So now is the time for you to measure your body. You need 4 measurements as shown on the screen. My measurements is what you see below. I use this measurement to show you how I make this top. Next step is to make the guest wash, and to make guest wash you will start by following the pattern from row 1 to row 4, and then you will repeat row 4 to get to the length of 4 inches. But to starting to have 4 inches width, you can just start with the chain to get to 4 inches or even 5 inches, and then you can just measure to get 4 inches width and 4 inches length. We are going to do the back part now, so now time for the math. You're going to take your measurement 1, divide with 2. For me, I have 15 inches. From my swatch, I should make 50 chain, and I did that, but somehow my yarn stretched out so much. First was just half inch, but I don't want that because I don't want my top to be positive ears. I already made one in red positive ears. So what I did, I start again, and this time I make 1 inch less, and it just fit me perfectly. So if you want your top to snug your body, I would suggest you to make a couple rows and see how your yarn behave. If your work stretch out and you don't want that, then just start with less chain. So for me, I just start, instead of 50 chain, I start 46 chain. This way, when I wear my top, back panel and front panel connect together and I wear it, it's kind of like snug on my body, and that is the look I'm aiming for. So after you have done your starting chain in row 1, chain 2, and now we're going to add herringbone half double crochet, and this is how you do it. It really looks like half double crochet, but you do that instead. So let's do it again. You yarn over and you go through the chain. You have 3 loops on hook, and you pull 1 loop through 1 loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, let's do it together again. If it's too fast, just go back and or stop and look at how I do it. I also just learned this stitch, and it's called herringbone half double crochet or HHDC. You're going to do that in each stitch across. And so for me, in this row 1, I will have 46 HHDC or herringbone half double crochet. Row 2, chain 1, and we are going to do straight edge stitch, and this is what we're gonna do. You're going to add single crochet in the first stitch, and now you're going to add single crochet into the left loop, the loop on the left only, and this is we call straight edge stitch. This way our work will stay straight at the edge. And now you're just gonna add HHDC in each stitch across. And by the way, the straight edge stitch we call, or we count as 1 HHDC. So from now on, you're just gonna add HHDC in each stitch across, and your row 2 should have the same stitch count. For me, I will have 46 HHDC in my row 2. So here at row 3, we're going to do double crochet straight edge. Although I changed my mind in row 4 because double crochet straight edge is a little bit too high than straight edge we did before. So you may wonder what is double crochet straight edge. It's just the same thing. You chain one, you add single crochet and one single crochet into the left loop only. But then we add one more, but I regret it actually. For this bulky weight yarn, just 2 single crochet on top of each other, it would be enough. So I just do that this row, and the next row I didn't do that anymore. You can make a decision by yourself. Do these 3 single crochet on top of each other, or just 2 would be enough. But for now, this stitch we call as 1 double crochet. And what we're going to do is that we're going to skip the next stitch, and we're going to add double crochet into the next one. And now we're going to add double crochet to where we have skipped it. So we're going to go behind stitch like so and add double crochet just like that. So our double crochet is kind of twisted like X. Yeah, the symbol or the letter of X. And now you're just going to do it again. You're going to skip the next stitch and add double crochet into the next one, and again you're gonna come back and go behind and add double crochet into the stitch you have skipped it, or the stitch you have skipped. I just having a trouble with ED, so I'm learning. Alright, so now you're just going to repeat that. Skip the next stitch and add double crochet into the next one, and then come back to add double crochet to where you have skip it. Okay, let's do that until the end of the row, and you will see that at the end of the row you have after you make the last twist of double crochet, you will have 1 stitch left, and there you will add the last double crochet. We will do together then. So now we have the last stitch left, and this is where I was mentioned before. Just add 1 double crochet into that last stitch, and that is how you end your last row. So row 4, chain 1, and again do your double crochet straight edge or just straight edge stitch, which is the different, either 2 single crochet on top of each other or 3 single crochet on top of each other. This time I do again 3 on top of each other, but I am sure that the next round I do different. So this one we call as 1 double crochet, and now you're going to skip the next stitch and add double crochet into the next one. Now you can see that whatever you do twisted, you kind of like do on top of the one below, and now you go back and add double crochet where you have skipped. You see that the twist X on top of the twist X from previous row, and again you skip the next stitch and add double crochet into the next one, and now come back behind the stitch and add double crochet to where you have skipped. And this is what you're going to do. Repeat all these again and again until the end of the row. So now add your double crochet, the last double crochet into that last stitch, and this is how you complete your row 4. So now let's look at the math together. As you can see that my measurement 3 is 15.5 inches and my measurement 4 is 7.5 inches. I need to take my measurement 3, subtract with my measurement 4, and then I have 8 inches, meaning that I need to repeat my row 4 until I get into 8 inches. And then I will have to prepare to do a decreasing to create the arm area, because 7.5 inches is where my armhole will be, and I want to decrease to have a shape of the arm area the way I have designed it. Here I have made a total of 15 rows and it's measure 8 inches. Now we're going to do row 16, and this is to shaping the arm area, in this row is the decreasing row. So chain 1, you're going to skip the first stitch and add single crochet into the next stitch. Now you're going to do the straight edge stitch, and this stitch we count again as double crochet. So single crochet and add another single crochet to the left loop only, and that is 1 double crochet. So now we're going to skip the next stitch and add double crochet into the next one. And again, now we come back behind, we add double crochet to where we skipped the stitch. So let's have a look here. This row we're going to lose 4 stitches. Start from where we have skipped it, and then the next one, the single crochet, because we're not gonna touch the single crochet stitch at all. And we count the first stitch of this row where the black arrow is pointing, which is the stretch edge stitch. And now just go ahead, do this double crochet, and come back to do where you skipped the stitch like you did in the previous row. Everything is the same until you come to the end here of the row. So here we're going to decrease these 2 stitches together and we leave the last stitch alone. So to do that, we yarn over, go to the stitch, yarn over, pull 2, and then the next stitch, go through the stitch, yarn over. Now we have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and this we call D2 together. So here we leave the last stitch alone, so that this row we have decreased total of 4 stitches. And row 17 we do the same thing again. We're just gonna follow row 16, which is skip the first stitch and everything the same. We're just gonna add single crochet into the next stitch and add again the straight edge stitch into the next one. So row 17 and row 18 is simply repeat row 16, and each row you will lose 4 stitches. So here is my row 18. If you want to have a deeper cut on the side, you can keep decreasing, but for me it's perfect like that. Approximately 2 inches of each side. And now for row 19, I'm just gonna chain 1 and do my double crochet stitch row, like the twist double crochet like I did in every row like that, without decreasing anymore. So you already see I did straight edge and that count 1 double crochet. I skip 1 and then go to the next and then come back to do double crochet where I skipped it. So keep doing that and stop 1 inch before you reach to the measurement 3. For me, my measurement 3 is 15.5 inches, so I will stop at 14.5 inches because I'm going to shaping the neckline and I need 1 inches to do that. And here I am at row 25 and I have a total of 34 stitches. Now look at my measurement. You see I have about 1 inches and a little bit, so I stopped there. Anyway, just a little bit, I think it's fine. And now for row 26 and row 27, I'm going to do HHDC, which is herringbone half double crochet. You already know how to do it, so this is exactly what I'm doing right now. So chain 1 and then I'm just do straight edge stitch and then just add this HHDC in each stitch across. And as always, the first stitch that you do, the straight edge stitch count as 1 HHDC. And here is very optional. You can do differently, but for me, I want to have the shoulder part like left and right 7 stitches of HHDC. So I count 7 stitches and I add the stitch marker, and then the other side as well. So I have 20 stitches in the middle where I will do single crochet instead, because I want to make a level, like like making a shape of the neckline. If you want to have a bigger shoulder part, do that. Just make sure left and right should be the same number. So here, row 28, you're going to chain 1 and do HHDC stitch like you always do, starting with straight edge stitch, which count as 1 HHDC, and now just add HHDC in each of the next 6 stitches for me, so a total of 7 HHDC. Here's my last one where I have the stitch marker. Now I'm just going to add single crochet in each of the next 20 stitches. And when you get to the other side where the stitch marker is, there is where you're going to start HHDC stitch. For me is another 7 HHDC. Start from there. I already made my first one, this is the second one, so I will make a total of 7 HHDC stitch. And for the next row, which is row 29, I'm going to repeat row 28. So this is how it turned out. Can you see the shape take place, like a little slope in the single crochet part? And after I made 29 rows, I measure and it's just perfect, 15.5 inches. So now let's do the front part now. I want you to check your measurements right now. For me, the measurement tool, which measure from measurement 1 to the under breast part, is 4.5 inches. And we're going to do everything the same like a front part now, but as soon as we get to the under breast part, which is the measurement tool, we have to start with HHDC because we have to cover our breast, because with the double crochet twisted, it's going to have lots of hole. So for me, my measurement is 4.5 inches, but I'm going to stop already at the 4 inches. This way I make sure in case of the yarn stretch out a bit, I will have the HHDC right on time and it will cover my breast. So start your front part now by repeat the back part now until you get to the measurement tool. Then continue with the HHDC until you arrive where you shaping the arm area from the back part now. You can see that you just have to work toward where's the arm area. I need a total of 19 rows to get into 8 inches. So you just check your measurement right now. You have all you need already written down, I hope. So for me in the back part now you see 8 inches, so I make my HHDC 8 inches as well. Now it's time to do the decreasing and increasing to create the cup and shape the arm area. I have my bra cup 34B, so this is what I'm going to do to fit me. For you, going to be different and I will explain how. So chain 1 and you're going to skip that first stitch, and that is how you already decrease 1 stitch at the beginning to shape the the edge, and then you add the straight edge into the next stitch, and always the straight edge you count as 1 stitch. If you're working on HHDC, it's count as 1 HHDC. So look at that, that is the first stitch that we skipped, so that is decreasing already 1. And now you're going to add the HHDC stitch across. However, you're going to increase around the cup area. So like I said, I have 34 beads, so I'm just going to increase this row only 4 stitches, and I'm going to increase on the cup area. So on one cup, I'm just going to increase 2 stitches, and then when I work toward the other cup, around that cup area, I'm going to increase another 2 stitches. And if you making bigger size, you will need more increasing stitch around your cup, and make sure you not increase every row, maybe every other rows. So just see how it works for you. Put your works against your body, and you will see, you will know how many stitches you need to cover your breast. So see, I just did 2 HHDC in 1 stitch, and that's how I did my first increasing. And now I just continue with HHDC. Just make sure also you keep some space, not to increase next to each other, like, you know, a few stitches in between before you adding another increasing. And I'm going to add another increasing one here. This is my second increasing stitch. So in this cup, I already did 2 increasing stitches. So I'm going to continue with HHDC until I get into the other cup. Here where I am, and I'm going to add now my 3rd increasing right there. Now just continue with HHDC. And you may ask, if I want to make for someone else, what can I do? So what can you do is that you're going to need the measurement from that person, and also you need to work with the swatch. So the swatch is so important. How many stitches is 1 inch, and then you will learn how many, you know, stitches you need to increase. And also when I work on my body, this is my 4th one. You see, I point the finger, it's meaning that that is my 4th increasing. So when I work on myself as well, like the piece for me, I calculate how many stitches 1 inch. So this way I know how many stitches I need to increase in the part that I need more stitches to cover. In this case, is my breast. Here come the decreasing. So you poke the hook into the stitch. Now you have 2 loops. Poke the hook into the next one. Now you have 3 loops on hook. Now you're going to do HHDC from here. This is called H2 together. So what we did in row 20, we decreased 2 stitches and increased 4 stitches. So in total of this row, I have made 48 stitches. Now for row 21, you're going to repeat row 20. After that, we're going to do dividing the cup, but before that, your work should go past your nipples approximately 1 to 2 inches. So my row 21, I finished with 50 stitches, and now I'm going to divide it into 2. One cup should have 25 and another cup should have 25, that is 50. So whatever number you have, you need to divide that into 2 and add the stitch marker. So that 1 cup for me, and then from the next stitch to the end, that is another cup. I have made a cup already, so this way I make sure that it works. Now I'm going to show you how to make the other cup. But for you, you won't need to slip knot just yet, because you have to work from where you stop your 21. So you don't need to do this slip knot yet, but you will do this in the other cup. So for you, when you continue your row 22, you will just skip the first stitch, and that's how you decrease your first stitch, because this row 22 we're going to decrease at the beginning and at the end. So for this cup, that slip knot we count as decreasing, because we're not gonna touch that stitch again, and we're gonna start our straight edge in the next stitch, and this straight edge we count as 1 HHDC. Like so. You see the slope of the beginning at the edge, and now you're going to continue with HHDC in each stitch across until you arrive at the end, at the other end, where you will meet the stitch marker, and there we're going to do the decreasing one more time. Now we have one more stitch to do before we're going to decrease. So you see that you have 2 stitches left. Now let's do H2 together. So for this row, we have decreased 2 stitches, a total of 23 stitches. For row 23, we're going to skip the first stitch and add the straight edge into the next one. And we are working with HHDC until the end of the row, and we're going to do another decreasing at the end of the row. And now at the end of the row, you're going to make your last HHDC before decreasing that 2 stitches together, and we do it with H2 together. And this is how we end our row 23. We decrease 2 stitches, a total of 21 stitches at this row. For row 24, you will repeat row 22 with 2 stitches also decreasing, and you will get a total of 19 stitches at the end. For row 25, we're going to do more decreasing because we're going to decrease also at the middle part of our cup. The reason that I'm going to decrease 3 times on this row is because when I get past my nipple, I see that my cup is still slightly big, so I need to shape the cup to fit me better. So if this is the case for you, just don't freak out and just decrease at the middle of your cup. And you know, sometimes it's not even happen. Like my first one, I don't even need to decrease on the middle part. It really depends on the yarn that you use. So make sure to put your work against your body to check the fit. If you want your top to, you know, fitting you perfectly, this is the way you can do it. And you will decrease by using the same method of decreasing, which is H2 together. I did that on row 25 and row 26. I did 3 decreasing in both rows. And here my bra cup, how it turned out is like, you know, forming like a bra cup. I really love how it turned out. So for you, you need to really put your work against your body and see how many stitches you need to decrease. Like I said, I only decreased 3 stitches on row 25 and row 26. For row 27, 28, 29, I only decreased 2 stitches, and I decreased at the edge inside, which is, you know, like between the cup, which is the edge inside and not the edge outside. So I decreased the edge inside and the middle part. I did that 3 rows, and that is what I need to make this cup to fit me. Also, your last row should be the same number at your neck area on the back panel. For me, I need to have 7 HHDC. So for that, on my row 29, I have 7 HHDC. So row 30 and row 36, I'm just going to do 7 HHDC. This way is matched with my back panel. You see that when we shaping the neckline, the, you know, area of the back panel, I have 7 HHDC, and now I have the same. So now I can prepare to connect both panels together. Now time to connect. I just do really easy. I use a yarn needle to connect. Take the right side facing each other. So go ahead, choose the side that look nice, which is the right side facing each other, and connect with a yarn needle if you want to do the same way as I did. Repeat the other shoulder the same way. And now let's connect on the side body. I actually use slip stitch, like just slip stitch to connect the side body. I like the slip stitch look of my work. But if you want to do different way, just go ahead. There's no right way or wrong way to do it. I just like the slip stitch because if I mess something up, I can just undo it easily. So yeah, I just did that. Fast forward, just slip stitch and now just do the other side in the same method. Ta-da! I hope you have something like this by now. Look at the back side and the front side. I love it. Now I already turned it over and I'm going to add a single crochet around the neck area. I'm not gonna touch at the back side though, just the front like that. And I'm going to add the sleeve, both sides of course. So yeah, let's do that together. For the single crochet, the touch of single crochet I start from this on the left shoulder because that's how I do it, but you can do on the other shoulder also, it doesn't matter. I slip knot at the corner right there and I just simply add single crochet in each stitch across, but I also make sure that I'm not adding too many. So I add 22 single crochet on my left side, and then when I come to the middle part, what I did is adding single crochet 2 together because I like the look of, you know, put it together at the middle part. You can do that if you want to, or you just do it in your own way. It doesn't matter, just do what you want, what you feel good doing it. So when I did the single crochet 2 together, then I crochet single crochet back upward on the right side, another 22 single crochet. So I did 22 single crochet plus single crochet 2 together plus 22 single crochet. Can you see how single crochet make the front, the neckline, the neckline at the front look so neat? Look at that. I love the look after single crochet after I made the single crochet, So now I want to show you the sleeve that I did, and I did a little bit too big. I take it out 2 rounds, just 9 rounds is just perfect for me. Now I'm going to show you how I did it. So for the sleeve, I slip knot. I always like to do the sleeve from the underarm, you know, like underarm hole or underarm, I don't know what you say, there where I just poke the hook in. I slip knot, and this round I just do single crochet. So I chain 1, and at the same stitch I add 1 single crochet there. And the same, I'm just going to add single crochet around on this round 1, and I also make sure that I'm not adding too many single crochet. I want to have single crochet that is not too wavy at the moment, just to keep the shape the way it is. I did single crochet now before I do double crochet the next round, because this way when I do the double crochet round 2, it's easier to find my way. Do your best not to add too many, just enough, okay? So for me, I did in total of 54 single crochet. I am ending this round 1 with slip stitch, and I'm not going to do any beginning chain for my round 2. And this round 2 I'm doing double crochet, and it's an increasing double crochet. I am adding that double crochet, the first one, in the same stitch where I slip stitch, and then I add another double crochet, and right there I just increase. So for this round, I'm going to add the next one double crochet, and again the next one I'm going to add 2 double crochet. So for the increasing of this round, simply 2 double crochet in 1 stitch, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, 2 double crochet in 1 stitch, 1 double crochet into the next stitch. So you are increasing, or I am increasing in every 2 stitch. You see that? 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So just repeat that until the end of the round. And this round 2, I will have 81 double crochet. And for ending this round, there's no more slip stitch or no beginning chain anymore, because I want my sleeve to have no line, like seamless. Even though it's going to have a little hole like that, but I don't mind at all. That little hole, if you don't like, you can just close it with yarn needle, but I really don't care. Look at that sleeve, there's no seam, and this is much better in my point of view. you know, just to have a little hole in that round, just only that round and no more. In the next round you're not gonna have that anymore. So I already add 2 double crochet while I was talking. So this round 3 is increasing of 2 double crochet in one stitch and 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So yeah, the next one I'm going to add 2 double crochet in that stitch, and then the next one is 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, like that. So let's have a look. So this round 3, we are doing 2 double crochet and then 1 1 2 1 1. So you're just going to repeat that until the end of the round. And round 3, I have a total of 108 double crochet. That's it. And for round 4, it's just going to be so easy. We're going to do just double crochet in each stitch across. Now I'm just going to remove my stitch marker, and yeah, just double crochet in each stitch across. And my round 4, I'm going to have again 108 double crochet. So this is how it looks so far after my round 4 made. Just gonna be very simple from now on, because I'm going to increase 1 more round on round 5, and I just gonna repeat round 3, and round 5 I will have 144 double crochet, and for round 6 to round 9 just to repeat round 4. And that's it for the sleeve. You just have to repeat on the other side and you're done.